Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we're just going to model something simple. I was thinking, I don't know, perhaps maybe a barrel. Nah, that's a little bit too simple. Yeah, how about that? I have a vitamin bottle in front of me, so I will model that. So we're going to add a little circle. We'll scale it down to about, I'm going to set this to imperial. And it will scale down to, yeah, well, it looks like it's about 2 inches by 2 inches. So that's what we'll do. And as far as the height goes, I'm going to say it's probably 3 inches. Something like that. Yeah, I guess we gotta add a face to it first. I guess we don't. I guess we can go like this, just extrude it up on the Z. First things first, let me turn on screencasting. Merge everything, extrude on the Z by 3 inches. It looks to be about, looks to be about right. We'll go ahead and fill in that top face. Select the edge and we'll extrude it. Roughly about like that. And then extrude it up a little bit more. Maybe less than that. Maybe something like that. And then ES. And bring it out until it's lines of that. And we'll go ahead and bevel this. After we apply scale, so that our bevel isn't all messed up. And we'll go like this and just merge everything. And then we want to clamp it. And we'll probably do 5 for this. And something like that. And then bevel this one a little bit. I guess we can't. So we're clamping off. Head and merge vertices. And bevel that. For this one we'll only do 3. And we will shade smooth. And then for this, as sort of a inset here. So what I want to do is we'll take this, these faces, extrude them upwards. I don't say to go about like that, but we're not going to actually need the inside faces. I'm just going to extrude these ones. And we'll extrude them up. Probably something like that. And then where is grid fill? Sure, I'm pressing the wrong buttons, but it's okay. There we go. Grid fill that and then bevel it. No. I think grid filling is not what we wanted to do. Put a regular face on. Bevel it like that, and then down here, be sure I have extra faces added. So I'll delete that one. And I want to create an edge loop. Drag it out to about right. Let's see, what's the thickness of this cap? I'll go right there. Create another edge loop. And go right there, go to face select. Extrude that up just a tad. Oh, we actually probably, I don't think we needed that second edge loop. No, we didn't. But a little too much. We just want a little bit of a lip on there. Okay. I'm gonna take this, slide it, create another edge loop, slide that up to there, slide that to there. A slight bevel on these. Oh, I must have some vertices that aren't merged. And that's messing everything up. So no. Okay, so for some reason it's not. We're getting this strange thing. So let's try. No, it's not gonna work. All right. We're gonna take a different approach to that. We're gonna delete this, dissolve that edge loop, merge everything, and then double edge loop. Let's actually set geometry to, or 3D cursor to geometry, and then set origin to geometry. Let's see if that was the issue we were facing. Extrude and everything except for the X. Oh, I'm all over the place. Hold on. Let's see. No. So, it's creating weird sort of things. And now I'm going to try and bevel. Get rid of all the edge loops. Let's rotation to scale. Merge everything. Nope. What if it had to do with me deleting that one face way back when? That face was actually connected to that edge loop. Alright. Now let's actually do this. Merge edge on. No, that makes even more issues. And we want to, let's see here. Interesting. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm just going to take this. Yeah, we'll go back to like right there. No. We'll go to right there, and we will delete. We'll break that out. And we'll delete it. And we'll take this edge loop. We'll duplicate it, break it out. And then we will go back like that. Extrude it to right there. And then extrude it upwards to probably right there. And we'll take this and add a face. And just to see if it'll allow me to bevel it or not. Hey, it does. Alright. So we will add two edge loops there. Scale this one about right there. Maybe a little less. Scale this one to about right there. We will select these faces, E, Z. Put them up just a tad. I didn't pay attention to that, however. Let's see, why did that? Everything. Easy. Oh, I must have accidentally deselected that. You know what? I don't want this. Usually we'll dissolve that. And we'll just extrude the entire thing up. Right there. Like this edge, select that edge. Bevel those 3. I'll do that. We'll bevel this and 3 like that. Now on the top, actually let's look at the side. So take that, and most of the time you probably wouldn't do this in geometry. Probably only do it in texture, but I'm going to go ahead and do it in geometry just because why not? And let's make sure we have scale set. I'm going to go around and I'm going to select all of these edges. Bevel. And probably that's kind of a bit, but I'm going to worry about it. And then I'm going to come through, painstakingly select all of these. Actually, I know there is a way to select every other one. But I don't know the shortcut for it, so I'm just going to go do it this way. Okay, and so now we are going to some trouble in there from beveling. That's unfortunate. We're just going to put those in like that, and then extrude along normals like that, and then come through and select all of these. Actually, yeah, we're gonna have to select all of these painstakingly. And bevel. Roll our mouse down. Probably do 3 like that. And we will shade smooth. It looks terrible at the moment. I could probably get away with taking that and setting it just a tad. And then, yeah, I ain't gonna do much. I mean, it's just a cheap little bottle. So, I ain't liking that though. You know what? I'm gonna cut this out and I'm gonna go back. I'm going to do things a little bit differently. So, we will be back. Okay, we're back. I just kind of cleaned it up a little bit as far as the geometry goes, rather than using the bevel technique to get all these separate indents. I went Control Shift R, and then that allowed me to split all of the edges. And this is what we have. Still haven't done anything on the bottom, so let's work on the bottom right now. This piece. I think what I'm going to do, probably inset it, and then inset it again, bring it down to like that, go into wireframe, and then just move it up. So do a little bit of a, maybe move it up a little more, maybe something like that. And throw an edge loop there, an edge loop there, and then I'll just kind of, maybe one more, right there. That's the vitamin bottle. Really simple. I guess if I wanted to, I could maybe bring that down. I need to bevel this a little bit. Let's go ahead and merge everything by distance. Bevel it a tad. Let's leave it like that. And then I could select these faces and then move them out slightly along normal, just for like the where the label would go. Once again, a lot of this you could probably just do texturing, but I decided I didn't want to do that. I want to do everything in geometry on this. So that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to delete these added edge loops. I think I really need them. No, that looks... Hmm. Let's see what it looks like with a weighted normal on it. That looks better, I suppose. Okay, so that is that. But you know what? This pill bottle looks, well, it's a vitamin bottle. These vitamins are pills. Looks really bland. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some edge loops right here. Scale them on the z-axis. And get rid of this. And then I get rid of the one on the other side. I don't know, probably this one. Like these edges. And what I'm going to do is bevel that, make them kind of circular. And then select these faces. I'm going to extrude out along the normals. And then rotate. We have to do it one time, so let's rotate. Let's go ahead and merge everything. Face in here, so let's delete that. We're not going to actually need these faces. Just need the edges. And I want to, I think I'm going to use the shear tool. I think no, because it's not what I want. So let's rotate Z5. Rotate Z, and this would be -45. We'll extrude those out again. We want to extrude along, I guess we don't need to extrude along normals, we just need to make sure. And we'll extrude them, let's go like this. There. That. Maybe. We will move these. Merge everything. Maybe we'll move them down a little bit. They don't necessarily have to be equal, I suppose. So we could make them equal. We just go to edge. Just turned on. And then we'll rotate Z negative, no. Rotate Z45 to straighten them out. Make sure I have them all. Z negative 45. Scale them down just a tad. And then we'll extrude them out a little. Let's see, what do I want to do? Let's grid fill them. Well, at this point, I'm I'm just messing around, so it's all good. And we'll select those and extrude along the normals. Give our guy fingers. Scale them in the Y, or little claw-like things, I guess you could call them. And I'm thinking I want to actually go back, and we'll select all these. Extrude those along the normals, scale them. Look at them from the top, and maybe move them out like this. Scale these ones in. They're not exactly the same size, huh? That's alright. It's supposed to be a strange little pill bottle man. Something like that. You select these two, and let's turn, select these two. We'll set our 3D cursor to like right there. And I don't want to do that. How do we want to kind of sharpen those up? Set origin to 3D cursor. And if we bevel them, yeah. Let's bevel them with 2. Something like that. Some little claws. We're going to need to fix up this fading. Go back. Put some edge loops in there, like right there, right there. I don't know this edge loop that's. I kind of fix that. Yeah, I got a little bit of shading issue right here. Let's try that again. There. And this is our little guy. Going to duplicate that. And it didn't do anything, did it? And I cannot add edge loop in there, probably because I did all this junk. So let's. I'm just gonna do it. The little demon pill bottle thing. You kind of want to get rid of those though. So no, I'm not gonna mess with it. This is just a play around thing anyway, so let's work on the top part. Maybe he'll have like a light ball that sticks out or something. Cut that. And break that out. Version to geometry, scale down until we're about right there. A lot of vertices for that, so I'm gonna back up, and I'm just going to set the origin to geometry, bring in circle. Oh, I didn't set this cursor. Now bring in a circle. Extruded, actually no, that's we're gonna use a curve for that. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Let's try just curves. Yep. Rotating along the Y. 90 degrees. And then rotate it along the Z until it's facing something like that. We will probably, I could probably even just go to draw, draw something. Let's do that. Delete those points. And we will add some stuff to that. Rotate rotate it like that a little bit. Move it over. Something going on here. No, extra face. Okay. And then this. Origin to geometry. We'll bring in a UV sphere. Scale it way down. So 3D cursor to there. Scale it down some more. Move it out. And what I'm going to do is select these faces. And set them a little bit like that. And put a loop cut there. Put a loop cut not there. Here. And I mean, that looks pretty bad. It looks pretty bad. So let's not do that. Let's select these. And set them like that. Like these faces. Give them a slight bevel. Select these faces. And a slight bevel. And alright, I mean, it is what it is. It's kind of messing around. Rotate Z. Move it to be kind of like that. Alright, so there it is. There's our weird looking pill bottle thing. It's definitely mistakes in it, like this, you know. Yeah. Join everything together. Maybe not in that order. Maybe in that order. I never applied any of the modifiers, so let's just let's convert this back to a mesh. Right, now that we have all that, let's just join this monstrosity together. And yeah, I don't know exactly what it is, what it's supposed to be, but there you have it, a little something.